I wanted to ask you sort of a strange question.
Yes, do.
You've been going like this.
I know, it's like my comfort pillow.
Does this remind you of your childhood?
It's like my comfort pillow.
Wasn't your dad a sheep shearer?
Yeah, my dad was a sheep shearer, yes he was. I could shear a sheep. I don't know if I still could now. I mean, I could learn to.
If we had shearers here, I'd be like, hey Jason, could you trim our pillow for us?
Yeah, come down the neck there and get around the legs.
What's up, guys? Nikki Novak here in the Young Hollywood studio, and we are so excited to have Jason Clarke here today. I don't recognize you with your blonde hair, though.
Yeah,
How's it going?
Yeah. Good.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
I tell everybody I'm excited to have him here, but we really are excited to have you here. You are one of my favorite actors. You really are. I've been watching you and following your career for a long time, and really admire everything that you do.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
would
really
think
do.
so. I would think so. I mean, you're very good at it. First of all, I saw Everest and stayed up, couldn't sleep. You've watched it back, obviously.
I haven't seen it.
You
no.
haven't seen
no.
it. Do you normally watch it?
I've seen a lot of it. No, I do. I've just been away shooting a film in Thailand and Barcelona and Europe, and also you need a certain distance. I didn't want, when I'm working, I don't like to watch myself just because it can mess with your confidence and everything. But I also want to watch this film at the right time.
Yeah.
Because I want to experience it.
It hurts. It's dangerous. Why? I have kids. They see a regular guy can follow impossible dreams. Maybe they'll do the same.
I'm on the top of Everest, Helen. We made it.
So not to use a terrible pun, but was there a moment filming this film that took your breath away? Literally took your breath away.
Oh yeah. When you come around, you do one of those 4 a.m. hikes. You get up and then it's the first time you see Everest. You come around the corner and everybody that walks to base camp to get there, unless you chopper up, it's the first time you see Everest. And it's extraordinary. I mean, you come around and there it is, there's the shape, and you just go, oh my God, that's it. And there's a little shrine in there, and everyone just, there's mountains, and you understand the pull of that mountain. It's Mount Everest.
Right.
You see the shape. First of all, you see the rock, the granite, because it's the jet stream. So it's like, it's one of the few that's not covered in snow up there because it's too high. And then when you can see the wind blowing off the top, because it's the jet stream. And then, you see the shape of the south summit, and the little thing, and then up, and you see there it is.
And so do you get that feeling? Because when I watched the film, I was like, who would want to, personally, I would go, you just see how difficult it actually is to do. But when you get there to the base of the camp, does it draw you? Is there that pull, I got it?
Yeah, of course there is, yeah. I mean, and it looks remarkably doable.
Yeah, right.
When you chopper over and you see when you see the ice fall up close, you just go, oh my God. Look at the drop
it
down
doesn't
there.
look that high. It looks
No, it
okay.
does. It looks like
and
it's not technically one of the most difficult mountains.
Yeah.
But you've got to prepare. I mean, it's a 3-month gig there because you've got to acclimatise and get right, literally because of the heights you're going to. But yeah, I mean, I think the last 2 seasons have been wiped out because there is that ice fall. There is that huge risk of avalanche and snowfall. It's and you can hear the ice fall. Creaking, massive, big things of ice just coming down. You just go, oh my God, we've got to walk through that. And that's why you want to get through there early before the sun kicks in and things start to melt and move. But yeah, other than that, you go, oh yeah, Western Coombs right up there, hang a right, hang a left up there. Get to the thing, put the crampons on. Okay. And I love the story, before I was in it and part of it. So, I want to sit down in the IMAX and get some sound and...
Get the popcorn going?
Yeah, get the popcorn going. I had a funny experience. I went and, it was actually with Anne, she was here, actually dyed my hair blonde. We were shooting in Bangkok and we went and watched Terminator when it was there, and we snuck into a 10:30 a.m. screening or whatever. And by the time we come out, there's hundreds of people there, and the head of Universal Asia was also outside the cinema waiting, and he'd seen Everest and he was talking about it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that was in Bangkok.
So what happens when you go to a theater in Bangkok to see Terminator Genesis?
And they
do people
come out,
recognize
people
you?
are just everywhere. It's just they heard that John Connor was in there, and so we came out.
Oh my God,
it was like a
I can
10:30 a.m. screening, and at the thing when we come out. Yeah, it was quite funny.
Will you let me know when you go to see Everest? I want to be in the theater behind you and just see the reaction of what happens.
No,
Speaking of Terminator Genesis, I read, it was a quote, I'm going to quote you and I'm going to swear, but you said that the first table read you sat down next to Arnold and they put your name next to his.
Yeah.
And the first time you sort of heard him do, the Terminator, you went in your head, oh, me.
Yeah.
So what was your oh, me moment on this film? Whether it was a good, a good thing, or I mean, obviously the elements and all that.
Yeah. Spending time with Jan, not that I was, delirious or but it's sobering kind of. Like, I mean, this was this woman's life, and there's an interview.
Yeah.
There's actually an interview with her as the disaster unfolded. When you see this woman, she's pregnant, people have died.
And so people who don't know, this is the wife of the character that you play.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And she's still pregnant. She was 5 months pregnant when he passed away, and she was 6 months. When it happened. And then she introduced me to friends of Rob and Rob's family, and Rob's brother's a detective down in New Zealand. He said, "Why do you want to do this? What's this got to do with you? Why you want to play my brother?" And he's fair enough to ask that, but it's just like, it was one of the just reminders of like, you know what, make sure you've done your work here, Jason. This is their lives, this is their brother, this is their memories, and then there's Sarah. She's 19 now, and so it has a lot of resonance and meaning. So I wanted to make sure, because we are taking a stab at certain moments in particular that were very important, that people died as a result of, and nobody knows for sure what actually went down at that moment. So I didn't want to be disrespectful or frivolous or cheap.
I'm going to quote you again. You said before this you wanted adversity, adventure, and friendship.
Yeah.
And that this film was one of the best experiences of your life.
Yeah.
Was there? Tell me about the male bonding that went on, because you guys, I mean, you're up there.
Yeah.
And you're bearded, and you're, was it that sort of sense of, you go through adversity together like that?
Yeah, it was much like the groups, that did the original Trek. I mean, that you get off a plane, you're in Kathmandu, the airport, the craziness, the taxis, the smells, the altitude, and you just go, we're off on an adventure together, and at 4:30 a.m. in the dark, somebody better be funny,
Right.
And,
so who's the funny one?
Oh, Brolin
really?
is seriously funny. Josh Brolin is one of the funniest guys you've met.
Now, who's the toughest? Who can brave the elements the most?
Jake's pretty tough.
Yeah. He had an extra long beard.
There's braving them, and then there's like, you can't. There's only so much you can take out in the cold before things go south and you've got problems. But Martin Henderson was great, who played Andy. Him and I went and climbed together in a massive big storm, the biggest storm in 20 years on Ben Nevis at Christmas time. Yeah, and then we went to the Tasman Glacier, and we did some very hairy things together with Guy's company, Adventure Consultants.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you sort of a strange question.
Yes, do.
You've been going like this.
I know, it's like my comfort pillow.
Does this remind you of your childhood?
It's like my comfort pillow.
Wasn't your dad a sheep shearer?
Yeah, my dad was a sheep shearer, yes he was.
So tell me about that, because I read something about a caravan, and that you can actually wrestle a ram. I'm like, this is a man's, I already knew you were a man's man, but that's like another level.
Yeah, I grew up in the outback of Australia. And I could shear a sheep. I don't know if I still could now. I could learn to.
If we had shearers here, I'd be like, hey, Jason, could you trim our pillow for us?
Yeah, come down the neck there and get around the legs. Take the top off.
Are they
tough? It was hilarious. I was always terrified of cutting the thing, the poor bugger,
Oh, you were kind.
Oh, well, no, I was probably bad. Probably took skin off them everywhere. Yeah, Dad, he was great. Dad,
so what happened when you said to Dad, hey, Dad, I want to be an actor?
I want to be an actor. I didn't think he knew what that was.
Right?
What's that?
Do you have fears? Because my fear is heights and frogs.
I'm not big on snakes.
So we won't see you playing Indiana Jones? Or you could be the perfect Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was scared of snakes, wasn't he? Yeah, I'm not big on snakes. I got bitten by one when I was younger.
You're right. You're from Australia. This should be like nothing for you.
No, I don't know. Well, I did one bit me on the ankle
when
I was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, it did it. It did it.
Was it a big one?
It was big enough. It hung on.
Wow, do they?
Yeah.
Now, what does that feel
Not all
like?
of them. I just remember I ran in to get a ball and this sunk its teeth in, and I was off to hospital to get an injection.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sheep shearing and snake bites?
Sheep shearing and snake bites, yeah, I know. I know. I've been stitched up a lot too. I got cut, yeah.
Anyway, thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much. A pleasure.
It was really nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
Can't wait to. I know you've got a lot of great things coming up.
Yeah. Look after this pillow.